In terms of what crowdfunding is, it really means going to a group of people to get the money to do a project rather than what you would normally do as a journalist, which is go to an individual. Normally you'd go to a commissioning editor. If you're in a job, you'd go to a news editor or a features editor and convince that one person that your idea is great. With crowdfunding, what you've got to do is convince a group of people, dozens, perhaps even hundreds or even thousands, that what you're doing is worthwhile. So it's not a dissimilar process. You've still got to convince that it's an idea, but you've got to do it for a large number of people. And you've also got to use slightly different tools, I think. You've got to be able to explain it in a one-off way rather than in response to questions. There will be an opportunity to answer questions through crowdfunding systems, but you've got to make your pitch in a one-way direction, I think. You've got to be able to say on a page or in a video or in an audio extract why you want to do something, and hopefully be at least convincing enough for people to want to find out more. And the nice thing about crowdfunding is that it's not as if you have to be in any sort of professional association. The various platforms are open often to everyone, and if not, they tend to be run by people who are willing to make them open to anyone who's got an interesting idea. So you can use Kickstarter, you can use any of the platforms which are open access and simply say, here's my great idea, please help me fund this. I guess someone who's been a professional journalist for a while has got an advantage in that they can say they've got that experience. You could well argue though that people who've got fresh ideas, new ways of thinking of it, may well have equal advantages, possibly better ones. So that's a nice thing. It's open to everyone. It's really down to how good a pitch you can make. It is this weird thing that, it seems embarrassing to ask money for journalism. The argument I sometimes use on this is it costs about £3 a month to subscribe to Beacon. It's $5, works out about £3.10. That's a frothy coffee, or a pint, or probably not a very large glass of wine. People don't think that much of paying to go to a pub, cinema, theatre, whatever. And in general, what you pay, say, to go to the cinema is going to be around £5 to £10 an hour, depending on where you go, of course. Journalism is dead cheap by comparison. So I'm not that embarrassed by asking for money for journalism, because it's good value for money. And I also think that if people actually do pay you something, they actually value it a bit more as well, just from the fact they've handed over some money. So I think we in journalism just have to get over this thing about saying, give us some money for what we do, because what we do has value and we shouldn't be embarrassed about that. I mean, yeah, on the question of whether it's better to crowdfund than to get a commission from a conventional publisher. I mean, the nice thing about the latter is you get a set amount of money, of course. There's a huge amount of competition for that. What I'd say is that if you've shown you're able to crowdsource, that shows you can market what you do. And that's something which publishers value enormously. If you can write something and then you can help publicise it's there through whatever platforms, whether that's social media or face-to-face, appearing at conferences, whatever way, that's something which can actually help you get commissions or help you get a full-time job, because it shows that not only can you produce great material, but you can also help make sure that people actually read it afterwards. So I think I'd say do both, and one can lead to the other. Trying crowdfunding is a great thing to do because it makes you think about marketing of what you do. And whatever you end up doing, you're going to end up doing some kind of marketing and sales, even if that's only selling an idea to a news editor. I mean, that isn't something where cash changes hands, but it is still a sales and marketing process essentially, where you have to get across your idea and beat other ones. So I think anything that helps you learn how to do marketing and selling the idea has got to be a good thing. It's a great sort of training to do.